What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon X and today's challenge will be can I beat Pokemon X Hardcore Nuzlocke using only Stone Evolution shiny Pokemon. So the premise of this is going to be a Hardcore Nuzlocke with obviously Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. So let's get into the rules real quick of it and then we'll get into more details of what the challenge is. So to begin off, it's going to be a Hardcore Nuzlocke. Like I said, I'm only allowed to catch the first Pokemon in each route and they must be a shiny Pokemon and they must evolve at some point using a stone. That's gonna be the prerequisite of what Pokemon I can get, obviously, and as well to make it even more difficult, we can only catch one Pokemon per gym badge. We're allowed a starter Pokemon, but then after that we have to have a gym badge for another Pokemon and then another Pokemon. So that's gonna be how we go about it to make it more fair and less just stack my team early on in the game and just never worry about it. Besides that, obviously it's a Nuzlocke, so each of my Pokemon only has one life. If they ever faint, fainting is death and they must be boxed and we can't use them ever again. There's a death counter on the bottom left just in case, and including with that, it's gonna be a level cap, which is gonna be the highest level in the gym leader's team. We can't go past that before fighting the gym leader themselves, and of course there are no items inside a battle and we have to play on set mode to make it even more difficult. All the rules are on screen right now. It's just very self-explanatory. Now to make this challenge even more difficult, we're gonna have to immediately evolve. I don't know why I thought this, but immediately evolve every Pokemon we get to their fully evolved form. Now the reason why this is so difficult and why this is a painful part of the challenge is because when you evolve a Pokemon by Stone Evolution, 99% of the time they do not learn any more moves and they are stuck like that. So if we catch a Pokemon at the start of the game, they are stuck with that moveset until we use TMs or HMs to help them a little bit. But that's gonna be how we go about it. It's gonna be very interesting. Now, including with that, we're gonna have a fun role for myself. Each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thanks so much for leaving a nickname in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after your future Pokemon, just drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down there, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you guys want more videos like this. Anyways, that will be it. Let's get into the challenge video itself. So to begin off, there is no starter Pokemon that evolves. Well, I mean, I guess EV counts, but you know what? We don't have an EV as our starter Pokemon, so we're going to choose Froakie because it doesn't matter. We're going to actually go into the Chanteloon Forest, which in here there's like 5 different Pokemon that can evolve via stone. So we could get any of the monkeys. We can also get a Pikachu in here as well. So lucky enough, we actually didn't get a Pikachu because you get Pikachu in a different spot and you could hold off on that encounter. But we find ourselves a Panpour, which I guess is a pretty like mid, not bad Pokemon to get. We catch ourselves a shiny Panpour and we're forced to fully evolve it. We get Scald at level 22. We will not get that anymore. And that thing is, you know, it's fully evolved and we only have Scratch as the move, as you can see. So this Pokemon is going to be very interesting as we move out into the first gym in the game. We're going to face off against Viola. Viola is the first gym leader in the game. She's a bug type gym leader and we're able to scratch her down. We're able to do a lot of damage with Scratch though, since we're fully evolved. We're also able to cheese the level cap a little bit, since I said you can actually fight the gym leader over level before the gym fight, but while you gain XP during the gym fight, you can get enough XP to level up and technically just stretching the rules a little bit. So we're level 13 against her Vivillon and we're able to scratch her down. Luckily enough, this is like perfect RNG. She does not use Infestation once. She used Tackle like 4 times and we're able to beat down the Vivillon, beat down Viola without any worries at all as we get our first gym badge in the game. Now with our first gym badge, we're able to catch our next Pokemon. We head into Route 4, which it's gonna be another 4 other Pokemon that can evolve by a stone, and we want a Routes preferably so we get a Gallade early on. But unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately, we just want anything besides a Skitty, and lucky enough we avoid a Skitty and we get ourselves a Budew, which actually evolves multiple times, so we can actually level up 1 time. Unfortunately, it doesn't learn any moves, so we're gonna evolve it into a Roselia, into a Roserade with the same move set, and it's going to be very tough. Anyways, from there we're gonna buy some TMs. I mean, we got Bodos. We're gonna reset because we don't want Bodos. Surprisingly, Simipour does not learn Bodos, so we get Swords Dance instead, and the only Pokemon on my team that can learn Swords Dance is my Roserade. So we're gonna have a physical attacking Roserade, actually a mixed attacker because we have Swords Dance and also Growth as a move. So from there we're gonna move out into the next town. In Ambretta Town, we can get Rock Smash as a TM in this town, and we're able to teach that to our Simipour, and we're also able to go out into the rocks over here and get a bunch of items. You can just farm items as much as you want. You want to farm some heart scales because that will be handy later on, and we just want to be careful. We get a bunch of really good items from here, and then we can move on and face off against Grant. We also get like basically infinite money from there, so we could get any TMs we want from now on. But anyways, we can go out into the next gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Grant next. Grant is the rock type gym leader in the game. He's going to start the battle off against us using an Amora. I start the battle off against him using my Simipour. Simipour is able to, well, I assume Rock Smash was getting one-shotted, but unfortunately we don't get a one-shot on the Amora, so we get Thunder Wave, but we could two-shot it. It's gonna do a little bit of damage, but eventually we're able to knock out the Amora and waste the Hyper Potion. From there, he's gonna switch out into his Tyrant, which bites me, but it doesn't flinch me. So I'm able to get a lot of Rock Smash off against him, and then I can switch out into my Roserade, which I'll take any hit, as you see, and I can outspeed him and absorb to knock out the Tyrant in one shot. Roserade is a very good Pokemon. It's unfortunate that I'm stuck with Absorb as a move. But from there, we have our next gym badge. We could go out into Route 9 or 8, I think 9. You can actually get another Pokemon out here. You get a bunch of Pokemons in the past routes, but we actually want someone specifically. We want ourselves a Jolteon. So we're going to search out until we get ourselves a shiny Eevee, add it to our team real quick, which is very nice to have. Eevee's being very difficult. Luckily enough, I stocked up on Pokeballs right before this, but I'm able to finally catch this Eevee. And unfortunately, we have to evolve it immediately into a Jolteon. I was thinking about Flareon because there's a grass gym coming up, but I think I should be fine. From there, we're going to face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Shalear City's Karina. Karina is the third gym leader in the game, and we're start the battle off against her using my Simipour. Now, Simipour is able to just do a bit of damage against Mienfoo, two-shot it actually with Return, since it's at full power, and it's so sad to see my Simipour being a physical attacker and not a special attacker. So anyways, we're gonna actually, we almost lose to the Hawlucha. We actually play nice it to lower his attack stat, and then we're gonna switch out into my Jolteon, which better fit. We're able to just knock him out with a Thunder Fang, couple more Thunder Fangs because he can heal up, and then we're eventually going to be able to knock out the Hawlucha. Her next Pokemon will be a Machoke, which I'm able to Thunder Fang into and then switch out into my Roserade, which Roserade from here is able to return. Physical attacking Roserade hurts my head. Oh my god, I think Absorb does more damage, does it? I'm not too sure. Anyways, from there we're able to beat down the Machoke and get our third gym badge in the game, which allows us to get another Pokemon. Firstly, we're going to face off against this Lucario because it just gets one-shotted, and this is my first and only Blackout in the game. So that was okay, that was terrible. But anyways, we could have got to Execute in Route 11, but we decided to go back into Route 7. And in here, you're able to find yourselves a Flabébé, which evolves into a Florges with a Shiny Stone. So we're going to Shiny Hunt out here for Flabébé. A Blue Flower Florges will look pretty cool. We're going to evolve it immediately. And we're going to teach everyone some new TMs. We got Surf as an HM. So Simipour gets Surf and Dig. And Jolteon gets Dig for the next gym. Electric Gym, so 2 gyms from now. We also get Poison Jab for a Roserade from Shalear City as well. So things are looking pretty good for a team. As we're going to face up against Ramos next. Ramos is going to be the grass type gym leader in the game. He's going to start the battle off against us using a Jump Bluff. Now, I start the battle off against him using my Roserade. I go for a Sword Sense. He goes for an Acrobatics. And he almost one-shots my Roserade. Lucky enough, I outspeed him. And I knew Poison Jab was going to kill him. So that's really nice. From there, he's going to switch out into his Go-Go. I was pretty certain a +2 Poison Jab, since his stab is going to do a lot of damage. And it does. One-shot the Go-Go as well. And his final Pokemon will be a Weeping Bell. Which I'm able to just one-shot, and Roserade sweeps down pretty easily. So physical attacking Roserade is the savior, which I don't think anyone's ever said. Physical attacking Roserade. From there, we're gonna move out and face off against the Team Flare members in the power plant, which isn't too difficult. We're also gonna face off against the next gym leader. Just a reminder, we have an extra encounter because we beat Ramos and didn't catch our Pokemon. So we're going to face off against Clement. Clement's going to start the battle off against us using a Moga. I accidentally still have my Jolteon out, which I didn't want. So I bite the Moga a few times, but I'm eventually going to switch out into my Roserade, which will go for a Poison Jab and gets paralyzed. Of course it does. I hate Amogas because of that. From there, I can switch back into my Jolteon against his Magneton. I can go for a bite and then dig, and then one shot, well, just knocks out the Magneton, not one shot it. But his next Pokemon will be a Heliolisk, which I could got early on, but I didn't want that on my team since I used it so many times on X and Y. But I'm able to go for one dig against him. He goes for Thunderbolt against me to heal me as I go for another dig, and I knock out Clement's Heliolisk and get myself the 5th gym badge in the game super easily. Now we have 2 encounters for us to get, which I mean, I'm not going to actually use them all in one spot. So our next Pokemon, we're going to head into the next town. I actually don't know the town name, but Valerie's Gym's town. What is that called? I don't know, I forgot. We're gonna shiny hunt by fishing for a Poliwag, which is gonna be, guaranteed encounters. This isn't too difficult at all. We're gonna find ourselves a shiny Poliwag, which is very easy to miss, which I don't understand. Luckily we caught it and then added to our team. We're gonna immediately evolve it, but it has to be leveled up to a Poliwhirl, so it learned some moves on the way, so actually pretty useful. Actually, the moves aren't useful at all, I lied, but I mean, it could be useful. From there, we're going to face off against Valerie next. Valerie is the 6th gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Jolteon against her Mawile, which will go for a crunch as I'm able to Thunderbolt it down and then waste some Hyper Potions of her. We're actually one-shot it afterwards, after I use the Hyper Potion. From there, she's going to switch out into her Mr. Mime, which I'm able to get a Thunderbolt, and then Light Screen against me, and then she goes for Psychic, which the dumbest play I've ever done. Psychic almost knocks me out as I made a Poison Jab into the Mr. Mime. Her next Pokemon will be a Sylveon, which I was pretty sure since it's a Fairy type, it wasn't going to be able to knock me out as I go for a Poison Jab, and then she goes for a Swift. I'm very scared of a Quick Attack, so I decided to just switch out, just be safe. Don't need it. Oh, what? I lied. I did not switch out. I was not scared of the Quick Attack. Okay, I don't know what I was doing. But Poison Jab still knocks out the Sylveon, and yeah, proves me wrong. Stupid plays after stupid plays. From there, we can go out into Route 15, I believe, or Route 16, something like that. We're able to go out to the grass right here, and I wanted a high-level Murkrow so I could get some moves on it just to start off with, but unfortunately, I couldn't really do it. I decided to use a bunch of honey and then find myself a shiny Murkrow this way, and a shiny Murkrow, pretty easy to find because it's a horde encounter. We're able to get ourselves a shiny Murkrow added to our team real quick from this horde battle, and then we're gonna evolve it immediately. This actually isn't a problem as we go to, I think we go into Dynamo Town, and then there is this NPC in here that accepts heart scale. Remember the heart scale we grinded earlier in the game? We're able to use them right here, and then we can move or learn some of the moves we're supposed to get when you don't actually immediately evolve Pokemon with Stone Evolution. We get some really decent moves. My Florges is finally useful now, so that's good to have. And as well, from there, once we get all our moves we wanted, we're gonna face off against Olympia next. Olympia is gonna be the 7th gym leader in the game, and she can start the battle off against us using a Sigilyph. Now, I start the battle off against her using my Honchkrow because I could go for a Night Slash. I don't have Super Luck, which is unfortunate, but it goes for a Reflect, and you know what? I get a crit anyway, so Sigilyph goes down. Her next Pokemon will be a Slowking. I decided to go for another Night Slash. As it goes for a Calm Mind, I outspeed him, so 2 Night Slash would knock out the Slowking, and her final Pokemon will be a Meowstic, which takes 1 Night Slash. Unfortunately, I didn't get a crit, but I can just go for a bunch of Sucker Punches until she wants to attack me, and that should be the end of the battle as we're able to beat down a Meowstic and beat down Olympia. We're able to get ourselves the 7th gym badge in the game, and we can move on and face off against Xerneas next. Xerneas is going to be the legendary Pokemon. This actually isn't a battle, we just can capture it. It's super easy. You're actually forced to capture it. From there, we can face off against Lysander next. Lysander is the Team Flare head boss. He's going to start the battle off against us with a Mienshao as I face off with my Florges. Now, Florges can actually easily just set up in front of him, but I decided to go for a Moonblast and knock out the Mienshao. His next Pokemon will be a Honchkrow, which goes down. I even outspeed him. So his next Pokemon will be a Pyroar, which I go for a bunch of Calm Minds in front of him. Now, you might think this is a bad idea. I'll tell you why it's a bad idea to just stay in. But I'm going to get +6, roughly, I think, against the Pyroar, which I didn't really need. I'm going to get full HP using Wish, which is very imperative, because once we beat the Pyroar, he's going to switch out into his Mega Gyarados. First, he outspeed me, which I was like, oh, okay, forgot about that. He's, you know, Florges has like negative speed. Nextly, the Gyarados has Iron Head, and just because I went for an extra wish, I'm able to survive it and then knock out the Mega Gyarados. So with that very lucky luck, I forgot the Iron Head and we're able to beat down Lysander. But that could have been really bad. From there, we can face off against our rivals at the bridge, which we're able to just clear through very easily. Now from there, we're going to face off against Wolfric. Wolfric is going to be the 8th gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Honchkrow. Now Honchkrow is able to go for a Fly, which, you know, not the best flying move, but we just got to take it. Fly is able to one-shot his Abomasnow, and then from there, he's going to switch out into his Cryogonal. Now, Cryogonal, just an annoying Pokemon. I go out to my Poliwrath trying to use a fighting move against him. He goes for Ice Beam and freezes me. Super annoying. It always happens against this Cryogonal. This Cryogonal is just so super annoying. I go out into my Jolteon, and then I go for a Thunder and then a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's gonna 3-shot him, but unfortunately he's gonna heal up on a second time. And then for the 3rd time, I'm gonna go for a Thunderbolt, and then another one will actually crit and knock him out. So it works out for us, as his next Pokemon will be an Avlok, which I switch out into my Simipour. And now Simipour has a completely different moveset, not a physical attacker anymore, as I'm able to just beat him down with 2 Skulls. and we're able to beat down Wolfrook and get our 8th gym badge in the game super easily. Now from there, we're going to move out into Coromir Town. We obviously went through Victory Road. Now we went back into Coromir Town. Now, reason for this is there's an incense seller. So we decided to buy a bunch of incense. We want the rose incense, the sea incense, and a bunch of lax incense that's going to help us. We're going to attach that to our Pokemon before the Elite Four. And from there, we're going to move out into the Pokemon League and face off against the Elite Four itself. Now, the first Elite Four member we're going to face off against is going to be Malva. Now, Malva is the Fire type Elite Four member, and she's going to start the battle off against us using a Pyroar, which I start the battle off against her using my Simipour. Now I'm able to go for a Surf as she goes for a Hyper Voice. It does a lot of damage to me as she goes out into her Talonflame next. I was hoping I can outspeed it, but unfortunately Talonflame will Brave Bird and knock me down to low HP. You thought I was going to say knocked out. 10 HP, Skull would knock out the Talonflame, which is very nice. Her next Pokemon will be a Torkoal, which I'm pretty sure Skull will just one-shot it, as it does. And her final Pokemon will be a Chandelure, which I decided to switch out. Nope. Okay, there we go. I switched out into my Honchkrow, which will take a Shadow Ball. And then from there, Night Slash will one-shot the Chandelure as we're ready to beat down Malva, and we secure the first battle. So from there, we can move on and face off against Sealberg next. Sealberg's going to be the Water type Elite Four member in the game. I'm going to start the battle off against him using my Roserade, because Roserade has the Rose Essence. We're able to Grass Knot into the... Wow, that didn't kill. We're able to Grass Knot into the Clawitzer, but unfortunately, it survived. Takes a lot of damage to me, but I'm able to go for a Growth and then another Grass Knot to knock out the Clawitzer. His next Pokemon will be a Starmie, which goes for a Light Screen, and this will haunt me forever. I go for a Grass Knot against the Starmie, which is fine. He goes for a Full Restore. I go for another Grass Knot to knock out the Starmie, and then from there he's going to switch out into his Gyarados next. From there, I decided just to switch out into my Jolteon to play it safe. He goes for a Dragon Dance, which is very annoying, but I know my Jolteon can outspeed him, and it does. I go for a Thunderbolt, 4 times effective, super effective. I could kill a bunch of Gyarados. Unfortunately, the light screens up and actually reduces just enough, so I'm unable to beat the Gyarados as it goes for an Earthquake and knocks out my poor Jolteon, and that is my first death in the game, in our entire run, because this Gyarados had light screen behind it. It could have been outplayable, but I didn't want the Gyarados to get obviously more Dragon Dances. I switched out to my Honchkrow and it's able to knock out the Gyarados, but unfortunately we lose a Pokemon. His final Pokemon will be a Barbarico, which I decided just to play it safe. I go out into my Roserade, take a Stone Edge with lucky it wasn't a crit, and Grass Knot will one-shot it as we're able to beat down Sealberg, but lose our first Pokemon. So annoying. From there, we're going to face off against Wingstrom next. Wingstrom is a Steel type Elite Four member in the game. I'm going to start the battle off against him using my Poliwrath. Now, Poliwrath is able to go for a Power Punch against the Klefki. It goes for a Torment. I can't use the same move twice in a row, so I go for a Hypnosis, put the Klefki to sleep, and then from there, I'm able to go for one more Power Punch and then eventually knock him out with a Circle Throw. From there, he's going to switch out into his Probopass, which I'm able to go for a Waterfall, hoping for a flinch. Does not get the flinch, of course, as he discharged me. He doesn't paralyze me, so it works out. I'm able to go for a Power Punch into his face, 2-shot the Probopass, which works out, as his next Pokemon will be an H-Slash, which I don't want to stay in, since most likely my poor Poliwrath will go down. So I decided to switch out into my Honchkrow. Now, Honchkrow is the perfect Pokemon against the H-Slash, as I'm able to go for a Night Slash, almost kills him, as I'm able to take an Iron Head pretty easily, and he's forced to just stay in. He doesn't go for a King's Shield, as I knock him out with a Night Slash, and from there, he's going to switch out into his Scizor. I don't want to stay in, because this thing would knock me out. I go out to my Simipour next, take an Iron Head, and then 2 Skulls would knock him out, and I burn him. We're able to beat down Wingstrom pretty convincingly, as we're able to clear through 3 Elite Four members. We're moving to the final one. We're going to face off against Drasna next. Drasna is probably the luckiest fight I'll ever have. So we're going to start the battle off against Drasna's Dragolich using my Simipour. Simipour is able to go for an Ice Beam against the Dragolich and get an instant freeze, but it doesn't do enough damage. This is actually a bad play, but I go for an Ice Beam so you could kill him with a high roll, but it survives. It goes for Full Restore. I go for another Ice Beam as it goes for Full Restore, and then I freeze it once again. So I got another lucky freeze, and it does a lot of damage this time, so I could 2-shot a Dragolich and 2 Ice Beams. From there, she's going to switch out into her Altaria, which 4 times weak to Ice Beam. I outspeed it, knock him out. Her next Pokemon will be a Northern, which gets an attack off against me, but I survive it, Ice Beam to knock him out super easily. Her final Pokemon will be a Druddigon, which I Ice Beam, it survived. Dragon tells me into my Florges, which isn't the... This is perfect. So I go for a Moonblast, and Florges is able to knock out Drasna, and we're able to just beat the Drasna. Easy fight after all we went through. From there, we're going to face off against the champion in the game. We're going to face off against champion Diantha. Now, champion Diantha is going to start the battle off against us using a Halucha. I start the battle off against her using my Florges. Now, Florges with the Lax Incense is able to avoid the poison jab, which I completely forgot. I'm able to go for a Moonblast and knock out the Halucha in one shot. Her next Pokemon will be a Tyrantrum, which I go for a Moonblast again. And it one-shots it. So Tyrantrum goes down. Her next Pokemon will be her Aurorus, which obviously I think this is pretty much set up father. So I'm able to go for +6 with Calm Minds in front of him as he goes for Light Screen and Blizzards and all that thing. It actually freezes me at one point, which is very annoying. I was like, oh my god, it would ruin it. I'm able to thaw out as I'm able to go for a Wish and then continue Calm Minding in front of him. So I'm able to eventually go for a Grass Knot to knock out the Aurorus. And then from there, you can switch out to your Gudra. I'm going to go for a Moonblast as well to one-shot it, avoid the Fire Blast, which is crazy. So all the Laxins is actually working out. Her next Pokemon will be a Gourgeist, which I don't outspeed, surprisingly. I get trick-or-treated, but I'm able to go for a Moonblast, and nothing's really hitting me besides the Aurorus. From there, you can switch out into your Gardevoir, which Mega Evolves, and then goes for a Shadow Ball. It does nothing. It even lowers my special defense, but it doesn't matter, as Moonblast will knock out the Gardevoir, as we're able to beat down Diantha, and we're able to just easily secure our win. We could have had a flawless run, honestly, and it would have made more sense if we had a flawless run because these Pokemon are pretty powerful. Unfortunately, Jolteon got destroyed and trolled by that Gyarados. Just Light Screen Gyarados just barely survived a Thunderbolt from Jolteon. If I used Thunder, it would have killed. Oh my god, cannot believe that. But anyways, that will be the end of the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Anyways, my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.